In the beginning, we had Dragon Magazine, and then we got Dungeon Magazine. And just recently, we've been graced by Arcadia from MCDM Productions, and now I am here to present to you all SideQuest by Icarus Games. How's it going? Welcome to No Fun Allowed, and today I wanted to take a look at SideQuest. Look at this. First off, I just want to look at the art. Art's already fantastic. You're already buying me into this thing. SideQuest is a monthly magazine that's going to be covering different topics in 5e in regards of the actual mechanics itself, introducing classes, quest, and of course there's going to be a lot of homebrew and even some useful tools you can use at your table. For the very first issue here, we have a new Ranger class to look at, basically restructuring the Ranger entirely, a new CR11 monster, a location to be used in a campaign setting, and more. So already this is gripping me in because, once again, the art's fantastic. But more importantly, this isn't just one thing. It's a variety of topics to go over. And that right there is getting me to flip the pages. And mind you, flipping these pages is excellent because as we stroll on through, here we see it. A letter from the editor himself, Anto from Icarus Games, and talking about the inspiration behind this and what is so incredibly useful here. Look at this. Page 4, it shows off, learn about the Ashk Gazetteer. Page 10, the Ranger of the Wild. And mind you, these aren't just little things to look at, they are actually links in the PDF itself. I click on this here, and it takes me right there. That small little detail goes an extremely long way. And of course here we have the visage of Anto himself. Great looking guy, way better hairline than me, unfortunate. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek at the first rendition of this magazine. Starting off here, we get an awesome location to set campaigns in, the Ashk Desert. Me personally, I love the heat, I love deserts, so I am totally going to be using this in a future campaign. It is just a nice location to look at. And mind you, we are looking at it. So not only is there this small snippet of the map here, once again, another link, and this takes you directly to a free download for this excellent map for your own personal use. In the pages here, we get some snippets about what life is like in the Ashk environment, about the city-states that populate the area, about the hazardous desert, and all of the denizens therein. And not only is there some info to sink your teeth in, but there's also a vagueness that allows you to flesh it out yourself. But I know that this is going to be expanded on further down the line. In addition to that, we're also greeted with some amazing art. I love the variety of art here. I love the pen and ink. I love the stylized colorings. I like it all. Next up, we have Ranger of the Wild, a complete rework of the Ranger class. So it's no small secret here. Everyone knows that the Ranger is sort of the stepchild that no one likes in 5e, unfortunately. And, you know, the basic class itself just doesn't get enough love. So this here does a great way of redesigning the class. And how does it do it? It strips away its magic. Because let's face it, whenever you're seeing a Ranger in 5e, they cast Hunter's Mark, they cast Goodberry, they cast Cure Wounds, they cast Ensnaring Strike, and that's it. It's over. Their magic is pretty boring, it's pretty limited. More often than not, they simply get played as a fighter that does an extra dice of damage, which honestly is very boring. So this here is a way to get you to step out of that field and play the Ranger differently. So it goes through the entire listing here of changing up the class itself, and we get that classic table here showing off everything that you're going to be getting. So of course, because we're stripping away the magic from the Ranger, we are replacing it with some other effects. More importantly is the Quarry dice, which is what is going to effectively replace your Hunter's Mark. In addition to replacing the base class itself, we're also given several subclasses that pair alongside it, which is excellent. These subclasses are flavorful, and they fit so well. These subclasses really set the tone and feel of the world. They give you abilities that make sense. And what's really cool about all these subclasses is at 5th level, that is when you decide your favorite enemy, but you are limited based on your subclass. And I like that. It makes it so you are forced to play a variety. You can't just pick the same subclass and choose different favorite enemies depending on the campaign. And of course, with all of these subclasses Ranger, we are given a Beastmaster Ranger that actually works in the form of the Spirit Conclave. And what I really like about this is it makes it so it's not as terribly gamey as it is in the base handbook. And helping to fill in the role of all those missing spells that you have, now we have the Ranger concoctions. These things flesh out your character as you get to prepare ahead of time if you know what is coming your way. This gives it a feel of The Witcher as you prepare ahead of time. You don't just rush into combat. You think to yourself, okay, I know that I'm going to be going up against, let's say, an aberration. Then I'm going to go ahead and concoct the old one's memories. With that, when you make an attack against an aberration with a weapon coated in this oil, you gain advantage on that attack. Alternatively, you may consume the oil as an action. You may gain advantage on wisdom saves for 1 hour. That is just so flavorful. Having these concoctions in the game is going to seriously change the style, tone, and feel of the game in a great way. And it's here where we're given the information on the campaign check-in. Anto talks about how most campaigns die. And that's true. Most campaigns are going to die. That is an unfortunate truth in our hobby. More often than not, schedules conflict and things just don't work out. But other times, people just get burnt out or tired of the game. So talking about these things, having that open communication is incredibly important. And there's a nice little checklist here of topics to discuss with everyone at the table. How are you feeling about the campaign? What is it like? What plot thread are you excited about? Asking all these questions, just going down the line here, is going to seriously save your game. I can't stress it enough. And giving a little bit of a sneak peek here on the monster that's been added for this, the Sleeper of Uqorah. This thing is gnarly. This thing is dope. I love high CR creatures because unfortunately we don't see too many of them. This thing can pack a punch, and of course this thing can take a hit. And that's what we really need, right? We need creatures that can both deal and take damage. And of course the accompanying art is fantastic, but guess what? You don't have to get that art on your own. Right there, this downloadable thing just for you to get what you need to play the game. And lastly here we get a sneak peek about issue 2. We get Deeds of Ashk, level 1 adventure, new cleric domain, and more. And of course that art's once again fantastic. After all said and done, do you know what I don't like about this? It's the waiting. I've watched the pilot episode and I want more. I read this first article and I want more. And unfortunately, we're going to have to wait. So some things to know about this product is this is starting with a 3-issue test run as Anto is diving deep headlong into this. And he's going to see if it's successful or not. I promise you, if you guys make it successful, we're going to see more awesome content. And not only are we going to see more of it, but we're also going to see more writers added to it. And that'll be great. More voices in there. More variety of content. I cannot wait to see that happen. This product is a love letter to magazines of old, and the thing to consider is, if you read this thing, you don't have to use all of it, but this should get your creative juices flowing. Maybe you look at that campaign setting and think to yourself, hey, maybe I want to change it up, or maybe even make my own. Looking at the changes to that Ranger class, maybe you start considering what other classes needs changing. And maybe seeing that high CR monster is going to get you thinking to yourself, okay, I want to create my own awesome high CR monster. Something very cool to note is that a print-on-demand version is coming in the future on DriveThruRPG. I certainly love getting physical copies because PDFs are cool and all, but sometimes I just like to go ahead and pick up something with my own 2 hands. Now, was I sponsored for this? Absolutely not. I wish I was because I'm poor. But that being said, I cannot praise this thing enough. I truly do want to see more of this. I love the fact that we're getting this resurgence of magazines that are showing off different aspects of the game. Because with these modules here, yeah, they're cool and all, but you know, they only focus on the actual adventure itself. It is nice to look at some of the classes. It's nice to look at some things to discuss at the table. It's nice to talk with the community, and these things allow you to do that. This is a first billing from Icarus Games, and it's already starting off extremely strong. I seriously can't wait for more because I know he's going to be knocking it out of the park. So go ahead and tell me, do you plan on picking this thing up now right immediately? Or are you going to go ahead and wait for a few magazines to pile up and then you can go ahead and get them full bundle? What sort of things do you want to see coming out of this magazine? Do you want to see more adventures? Do you want to see more subclasses and classes? Do you want to see more campaign settings? Go ahead and tell me all of those things because I want to know, but that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching, thanks for listening, and thank you to my amazing patrons. You guys are incredible, and I cannot wait to see you all in the next one.